good morning all of you. The chapter which we started yesterday, we will carry on that only. Fine. So the basic things were told about the chapter that day. That what's going on in the chapter, actually the writer is saying that the word has become very small nowadays. Why it is why he is saying like that? What does he mean by that? That the word has become small nowadays, because we can enter, we can actually wherever we want to go. We can go by the flights nowadays. We can talk over whether our cousins, whether our relatives are living in even USA. We can talk to them over the call. Fine. So it means that the things which were unavailable earlier, now we can get, or now we can talk to them on video calls, and we can visit them even. So that's why they are saying, that's why the writer is saying their word has become very small. And here the author reflects humorously his experience as a traveler. Actually the chapter is written in the form of a travelogue. Fine. He went somewhere, and he went to England. And here he is telling about his journey, the journey which he has done to England. His journey is told by author himself, the narrator himself, in a very humorous way. Fine. So what was going on in the chapter, actually one or two paragraphs we have covered that day. What is going on in the chapter? Of all the things I am very good at, living in the real world is perhaps the most outstanding. I am constantly filled with wonder at the number of things that other people do without any evident difficulty, that are pretty much beyond me. The writer is saying that, means he thinks like that the all other people are very outstanding, but whenever he starts a new thing, or whenever he starts a new work, he faces a lot of difficulties. And he is saying other people do without any evident difficulty the things or the works which the other people do without any difficulty. He is saying that are pretty much beyond me, means that is out of his limit, and he faces a lot of difficulties to do that work. I cannot tell you the number of times that I have gone looking for the lavatory in a cinema, for instance, and ended up standing in an alley to the wrong side of a self-locking door. He was saying that whenever I go to a cinema hall, whenever I go to a theater, I found a difficulty to find the lavatory. Lavatory is called loo, or you can say washroom. Means whenever he wanted to see for the washroom, whenever he wanted to go there, he find it difficult to search that also. And he is saying so many times it happens that I just consider it. I just imagine that this is a loo, this is a washroom, but that was the door of actually just a passing. Fine. So when he enter inside that door, he find sometimes that he was just standing at the next side of that door. It was not at all a lavatory, or it was not at all a loo. Fine. So he was saying that so many times it happens to me that I just forget my room number. Yes, beta.
मैम आदित्य बोल रहा है आप उसको ज्वाइन कर लो क्लास में.
Let me see. Where can I add him from? Just a second. Okay. So I was thinking about the last time we went and family on a big trip. He was saying that I find it difficult then. So many times I forget my room number even when I go to a hotel. Fine. When he lives or when he stay in a hotel, then he found it difficult. he find it difficult to remember the name, room number. Fine. I am in short easily confused. He is saying that easily, just in short, if I want to say that I easily get confused about the room numbers even. Fine. I was thinking about the last time we went on a family big trip. It was at Easter and we were flying to England for a week. When we arrived at Logan Airport in Boston and were checking in, I suddenly remembered that I had recently joined British Airways frequent flyer program. I also remembered that I had put the card in the carry-on bag that was hanging around my neck. And here is where the trouble started. He was saying, he has started describing a humorous incident actually that happened in his life. His past experience he is sharing with us that it was the festival of Easter when he went with his wife to England. Actually, not with his wife only, he went with his family. And he is saying when we arrived at Logan Airport in Boston and we were checking in, they just left their flight, and when they were checking in, I suddenly remembered that I had recently joined British Airways. He just remembered that he already had joined British Airways and he was having a card related to that. Fine. Frequent flyer program. That was just a campaign was going on. And he was to show his card related to that. I also remembered that I had put the card in the carry-on bag that was hanging around my neck. The card which belongs to the frequent flyer program, that card he has kept inside the carry bag that he was holding around his neck actually. Fine. So, and here is where the trouble started. He was saying that now the trouble started from that point only, because I put that card inside the carry bag. Fine. Now what is going on? What will go on in the chapter? The zip on the bag was jammed. The zip that was there on the carry bag, that was jammed. Jammed means fix हो जाना, एक तरह से जाम हो जाना. Fine. So I pulled on it and yanked at it with grunts and frowns and increasing consternation. Means he was forcing it. As we also do like that, when a zip is locked or it is jammed, what do? We just pull this zip off in two parts. That he was doing the same with grunts and frowns. He was trying to open it first and increasing consternation. He was saying that as it was not opening, so it was increasing my consternation. Means मेरी जो tensions है वो बढ़ती जा रही थी. He was saying like that. I kept this up for some minutes, but it wouldn't buzz. So I pulled harder and harder. He is saying, the narrator is describing that for some minutes, in the starting, for some minutes, he was trying to buzz it. He was trying to pull it out. He was trying to open it. So I pulled, but it wouldn't buzz. It could not open. He was not able to open that bag. So I pulled harder and harder. So he just pulled it out hardly with more grunts. Well, you can guess what happened. Abruptly, the zip gave away, the side of the bag flew open, and everything within, newspaper cuttings and other loose papers, a 14-ounce tin of pipe tobacco, magazines, passport, English money, film, was extravagantly ejected over an area about the size of a tennis court. What is he saying? When he was just using his force to open that zip, what happened at the last? Abruptly means suddenly the zip gave away. Means the bag was opened at all. The zip was opened at all. The side of the bag flew open. Means the side of that bag where that card was kept inside that bag. On that area only he was trying to open it. Fine. So abruptly means अचानक से the zip gave away. पूरा zip जो है वो खुल गया and it became free actually. Fine. The side of the bag flew open and everything within. The side of that bag where the card was kept, that zip was open and everything, whatever was kept inside the bag, whatever was kept in that chain actually, as like newspaper cuttings, some newspaper cuttings were there and other loose papers were there. Other loose papers were also kept in that. A 14-ounce tin of pipe tobacco. Pipe tobacco. What is pipe tobacco? The tobacco that is kept inside a pipe actually for smoking. He was having tobacco also and it was kept in a 14-ounce box. Fine. Everything was scattered. Everything was pulled out as the chain was pulled out. Everything that was kept inside the bag, it came outside. And magazines were there, passport, English money. Even film was extravagantly ejected from an area about the size of a tennis court. Means he was having some pictures also inside his bag. Extravagantly means in a you can say in a abrupt manner, एक बहुत बड़ा ऐसा ढेर में they came out, ejected from an area about the size of a tennis court. Means these things were scattered in the area of a tennis court. Means इतना दूर दूर जाकर वो सारी चीजें they were scattered. I watched dumbstruck. Just a minute. I was dumbstruck as 100 carefully sorted documents came raining down in a fluttery cascade. Coins bound to a variety of noisy oblivion, and the now lidless tin of tobacco rolled crazily across the concourse, disgorging its contents as it went. I was dumbstruck. Dumbstruck. What is dumbstruck? Do you know the meaning of dumbstruck? Dumbstruck is called, dumbstruck means dumbstruck, the meaning of dumbstruck is called means he could not speak any word. Means एक तरह से answerless हो जाना. Means he could not speak a single word from his mouth as 100 carefully sorted documents. Sorted. What is sorting? Yes. What is sorting? To arrange in a ascending or descending order. When we arrange something in an ascending or descending order, that is called sorting. Fine. So the documents were actually arranged very carefully, but now when they came out, the sorted documents came raining down in a fluttery cascade. Coins bound to a variety of noise oblivion. What was going on? You may have seen the playing cards. Playing cards आपने देखा होगा when they are thrown on the floor, how they put up. Same manner, they were raining as they were coming outside of the chain. They were coming outside of that area of the bag, that as if they were raining. However, these were arranged or sorted earlier, but now as abruptly it were coming outside, these were coming outside. So down in a fluttery cascade. Cascade means जैसे ताश के पत्ते बिखर जाते हैं. They were just scattered. As like coins bounced onto a variety of noise oblivion. As like the coins were thrown on the ground. Same thing was happening. And the now lidless tin of tobacco rolled crazily across the concourse, disclosing its content as it went. And what else came down? The
Tobacco.
The pouch of tobacco, or the 14-ounce tin of tobacco which he was having, it was lidless now. Means its lid has gone somewhere else. What is lid? That cover of that tin. Fine. उस जो टोबैको का जो टिन था, उसका जो कवर था, उसका जो ढक्कन था, it went away and tobacco rolled crazily across the concourse. Concourse means in that area, जो पूरा जो टेनिस कोर्ट वाला जो एरिया, he is saying that means in that area, in that airport area, he was saying this what disgorging its content is went. Means एक भीड़ की तरह से वहां पर सारा सामान मेरा बिखर गया. The narrator was saying like that. My tobacco, I cried in horror, thinking what I found, what I would have to pay for that much tobacco in England, now that another budget had come and gone, and then chained the cry to my finger, as I discovered that I had gauged my finger on the zip and was shedding blood in a lavish manner. Now what happened next? This was the first thing which happened to him, that his things were scattered on the airport only, and his tobacco tin was scattered. Means the whole tobacco that was kept inside the tin, that was also scattered, that was also on the floor. Fine. My tobacco, I cried in horror, thinking what I found, what I would have to pay for that much tobacco in England, and now that another buzzard. He was thinking inside his mind. Then horror came, that how much money I have to pay if I want to buy tobacco again in England. He was not in his country. He was not in his own country actually. Now he was in England, and just a horrible idea came inside his mind, that how much money I have to pay if I will buy another tobacco pouch or another tobacco tin. Means this much tobacco. So he said that my budget had come and gone. He was thinking that that is actually beyond my budget. मेरे बजट से बाहर की बात थी इतना टोबैको वापस से खरीदना. And then changed the cry to my finger. Just then I noticed that there was a cut on my finger, and he started crying, oh my finger, as I discovered that I had gauged my finger on the zip and was shedding blood in a lavish manner. Lavish manner means बहुत ही तेजी के साथ. Fine. So he discovered that I gauged my finger on the zip, that my finger was my finger had an injury because of that zip. जैसे हम कई बार खींच लेते हैं, हमारे फिंगर्स वगैरह जो है उसमें स्टक हो जाती हैं. That he caught a cut, or that he caught a injury on his finger and was shedding blood in a lavish manner, and blood was gushing out. Gushing out means बहुत तेजी के साथ निकल रहा था. I am not good around flowing blood generally, but when it's my own, well, I think hysterics are fully justified. Confused and unable to help, my hair went into the panic mode. See, he is saying, I am not good around flowing blood generally. Generally means as like you got a cut, that I don't become panic. He was speaking like that the person, if the other person gets bleeding, then I don't get panic. I was not good around flowing blood. It doesn't matter to me. But when it's my own, well, I think hysterics are fully justified. But my blood was gushing out. When it came to my mind, then hysterics are fully justified. I became afraid that my blood means मेरा खून निकल रहा है इतना ज़्यादा. Then he became afraid actually. Confused and unable to help. I was really confused that what should be done now. What I can do now. My hair went into the panic mode, and his hair were actually standing on his head. means he got goosebumps on his hands and legs also. He was just quiet in a horrible way. Fine. So the remaining chapter we will discuss in tomorrow's class because the time is over. Fine. If you are having any doubt, you can discuss it with me right now. Yes, beta. Yes.